In the beginning, there was a free press. Well, not really, but it sounded good. By the end of the millennium, 5 men controlled the world's media, and each one knew secretly he would burn in hell. Yet there was one man who operated outside their control. He and his motley crew were known as the People's Democratic Republic of Television. Their mission? To bring the people the awful truth. Tonight, from somewhere inside the PDR TV, please welcome Michael Moore.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. PDR TV. Thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, this is our last show in this particular season. I know, but it looks like we might be coming back. 62 years ago, tomorrow, the sit-downers in Flint, Michigan, the sit-down strikers, came out of the plant successful and beat General Motors. They got the first union to win a contract. And NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement that Clinton signed a few years ago, it's helped us so much. It's gotten rid of almost 500,000 jobs in this country. Jobs we didn't need, did we? and of course, most of those jobs went to Mexico. People in this country constantly complain about illegal Mexicans, right? They're coming across the border. They're taking our jobs. You know, it's like, yeah, well, what jobs are they taking? The neurosurgeon jobs? You know, I don't think so. I think what they're willing to do is clean your toilet and scrape your gum up off the floor. You know, the people, they're trying to like just do a little bit better for themselves. And there's no Mexican that's ever taken your job. Americans took your job. They took them to Mexico. You know, actually, all our good-paying jobs now are down there. Maybe we should start swimming across the Rio Grande to go get one of our jobs back, huh? Maybe that's not such a bad idea. Go down to Mexico and find NAFTA Mike.
The thriving U.S. auto industry, mainstay of our economy, employer of skilled labor, and provider of livelihoods for thousands of families. Well, that makes for good fiction, because lately the truth isn't so rosy. Ever since President Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Agreement in 1994, thousands of U.S. auto jobs have gone south to Mexico. Jobs like the one belonging to Darrell Hurt. A 21-year veteran of the assembly line, Darrell lost his job last year when GM Delphi moved it to Mexico.
Laid off again.
Laid off again. How many times have you been laid off?
12 times.
Over 21 years?
Over 21 years.
Oh, man. And now, so they keep getting rid of people at Delphi, right?
They're getting rid of people all the time. That's their intention, is to get rid of more.
But yet they're making a profit, right?
Well, they say, yes, they made record profits.
Record profits. Why are they getting rid of people?
I don't know.
Yeah. Now, where have these jobs gone?
They've gone south due to NAFTA. Mm-hmm. I want my job back. I have to make a living, and I want my old job back.
Okay, so Darrell's job was in Mexico. All I had to do was get Darrell into Mexico. So I figured, why not do what the big boys do? Hire some cheap Mexican labor to do my job for me. So I went down to Juarez, Mexico, just across the border from El Paso, Texas. Juarez, the new Flint of the New World Order. Here in Juarez, hundreds of thousands of Mexican laborers from all over the country work in jobs that used to belong to guys like Darrell. With all this cheap labor around, I was sure I could find someone to do my job for a while. I mean, heck, they get to be on TV, and I'd even throw in a flashy title, NAFTA Mike. What makes you think you could be NAFTA Mike?
Well, only because I'm willing to work for 50 cents less an hour than everybody else.
Really?
Really.
I, NAFTA Mike,
I, NAFTA Mike,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will do exactly what regular Mike does,
That I will do exactly what regular Mike does,
but for half the price.
but for half the price.
Meet Willivaldo Delgadillo, my bargain basement NAFTA Mike, all ready for his mission. NAFTA Mike's mission? Rendezvous with laid-off GM Delphi worker Daryl Hurt. Smuggle him into Mexico and get him his old job back.
Es un hombre que vive peligroso. Todo lo que hace es sabroso. Hombre secreto, hombre secreto.
Daryl arrived in Mexico with big dreams of what his new life under NAFTA might hold. A new job, a new house,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, blue water, huh?
a new life full of all that his adopted homeland had to offer.
Ay, 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 canta y no llores.
First stop, a typical factory worker's neighborhood to scout for a new home.
What do you think?
What's the smell?
I don't know. Maybe it comes from over there.
Build my own house here? Well, where would I build it?
How about right here? And you would have a riverfront view.
If I moved down here, I could work in one of the factories here and live in a neighborhood like this. It's a warmer climate. I can come down to where it doesn't snow.
Yeah, it's pretty sunny here.
Pretty sunny.
Yeah.
Seem to be nice people. I think I could live down here.
Okay.
It was time to get Daryl his job back. Point of infiltration? Delphi's Rio Bravo 9 facility.
Good morning, buenos dias.
Buenos dias, how are you doing?
Michael Hissam, Delphi Automotive, welcome to Rio Bravo 9. Michael Hissam, welcome to Rio Bravo 9.
What Michael Hissam doesn't know is that Daryl is one disgruntled laid-off auto worker.
Let me show you what Delphi in Mexico is all about, please.
Great.
In this very plant, Rio Bravo 9, we have a number of things that we're doing.
As soon as Daryl hit the factory floor, he knew he was back home. His old jobs were calling to him.
We have additional benefits. Here in Ciudad Juarez, we offer
His job from Muncie, Indiana.
to do more and different types of jobs than ever before. That represents a major change.
His GM job from Anderson, Indiana.
Classes to help employees. That puts that employee in a much more competitive position. Personally, truly a great effort on their part to improve his or her lifestyle. They want
Even
to
the one
see
from
every day
Oklahoma.
They're committed to being successful. Truly an international effort. Two countries working together, competing in a global economy.
This was history in the making. An American auto worker 2,000 miles from home and right back at his old spot on the assembly line.
Okay, hey,
Hey, man, that's
I
great.
can do this job.
Not one employee of Delphi Automotive in the United States has lost employment because of Mexico. Not one.
Not one GM worker lost their job. Well, I could think of at least one. It was time for NAFTA Mike to make his move.
We have his resume here.
I have
His-
all
his
that
resume.
information.
Yeah.
I worked for 21 years with Delphi.
You did?
Yes, I did. I actually have a shirt saying how proud I am to be a
Isn't
Delphi
that
employee.
great? Are you currently a Delphi employee or former Delphi employee?
I am a laid-off Delphi employee.
But not one person in the U.S. has lost employment, permanent, because of Mexico.
Well,
And I know many people question that. We're using about 5 billion, that's billion with a B, U.S.-made components. We use billions and billions and billions of U.S.-made components. It's billions a year. U.S.-made, billion U.S.-made components built by U.S. workers.
but
we
that
need
has
to
nothing
compete
to
together.
do with, I need a job. I'm here to get a job.
I hope you, well,
I-
let me present this. I know somebody and say, hey, here's a gentleman. He had worked with Delphi for over 20 years. He feels he's lost his job. He's willing to go to work in Mexico. Don't know if it can work.
You have a personnel office?
Not here, but
Not here?
not here.
Maybe you should move here. Maybe he can help you get a
I'll help you. We have some vacancies. I want to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank
Hope
you very
you've
much.
learned something.
Okay.
Well, things had turned out pretty good down here in Mexico. NAFTA Mike had done a great job. But I thought a little financial incentive might make Daryl's job a lock. So in the spirit of cross-border cooperation,
Never expect, I think it was President Monroe who once said the area west of the Mississippi would
How you doing? Michael Moore.
Michael Hisson.
Nice
Glad
to
to
meet
meet
you,
you.
Michael.
Okay.
We'd like to present you
Well-
with a prize here. This is the first week of wages for Daryl here.
Michael, we're using 5 billion. 5 billion U.S. built components every year.
Right.
And those are made by U.S. people, and they're still making them. That's the good thing about it, Michael.
Here's the part I don't understand. That what happened to the 250,000 American workers that used to work for General Motors?
If we could step over a little bit out of the sun.
Oh,
but
sure.
if- come over this way.
200,000 less jobs in the United States.
Well,
where do you think they're going? Where do you
Don't
think
know.
those Delphi, you do know?
some.
You know where they're going.
No, Mike,
Right
I know where
behind
you're going
this
to your
gate.
interview. No, but the point is, Daryl, if you're sincere, you have a resume, I'm going to take it to somebody. And I hope you are sincere.
It looked like Daryl was going to get his old job back. NAFTA Mike had pulled it off. And the whole town came out to celebrate.
Chiclets?
Meanwhile, Daryl did the best he could with the local economy until his Delphi job started.
If I sell better than you,
And GM? Well, last year they made over $3 billion in profit.
And that's billion with a B.
Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you. We're very fortunate to have Studs Terkel, who's with us here tonight. Studs was in my movie, The Big One, and he's been a friend, and I'll tell you, this is truly one of the greatest Americans in this country right now, and from Chicago, too. And now a short film from the staff of The Awful Truth.
Fellow strikebreakers, you done good work tonight. Yeah! We busted the heads of those filthy unionizers, we broke apart their picket line, and we showed them that management always wins.
Crush the unions! Crush the unions!
Now, tomorrow, we got hired by the Peerless Steel Plant to bust up another strike.
No unions! No unions!
How much are we gonna get paid?
It's the usual daily rate, $2 a head.
$2 a head?
$2?
That's not fair.
We want more.
We want more.
Yeah, we want more!
You guys are the best strike busters in the county. Maybe you should get more.
Excuse me, but what happens if the management don't want to give us more?
Then we refuse to work. We ain't gonna bust no more strikes until they agree to our demands.
Yeah! More! We want more! We want more! Union or die! Union or...
What? He's a union guy. Get him. Now, getting back to this idea about not working until we get higher wages. We either stick together or we perish apart.
Last week when we were beating the hell out of the cannery workers, I broke a tooth. Now I can't afford to fix it.
You know what? We should establish some kind of fund.
Full dental and medical coverage.
That's it. We refuse to work until we get higher wages and full medical.
Full medical coverage! Yeah! Union!
Get that union son of a bitch!
With all this organizing and medical coverage, how are we going to pay these administrative costs?
You could pay dues. With the pay raise we get, we can afford it.
The union will never die!
You again. Get that no good striker. Seized my thumb as I burned down the homes of the union men. As I shot them running from the shanty town, I singed my thumb again. But who'll take care of my thumb? Who'll look after me? I'm just trying to earn an honest wage to feed my family.
Feed my family.
That was beautiful, you guys. Let's go smash some union heads.
Thank you very much. You know, we've had a great time in these 12 weeks on The Awful Truth, and I'm really proud that we've been able to show, not only to this country too, but to all the countries throughout the world that are picking up this show, the really good things about this country, our sense of fair play and decency and honesty. The thing is that that even though we have this great tradition of fairness and honesty and decency, you know, in the first 100 years of this country, you know, it's kind of rough. I mean, it wasn't quite as good as it should be. Only white male property owners could vote. A whole race of people were enslaved. Another race of people we committed genocide against, and you know, it wasn't looking too good for us. And by the beginning of this century, robber barons were in control. Monopolies abounded, unions were crushed, children were working in sweatshops, but then things got better. Things got better. Women won the right to vote. Kids were no longer allowed to work in factories. The monopolies were broken up. And by the middle of our century, we had civil rights legislation, and things were beginning to look a lot better in this country. And so tonight, as the century closes and as our series comes to a close, I thought it best that we celebrate a return to the traditional values that we seem to be returning to in this country. As once again we have monopolies, where we had more mergers last year, almost 10,000, than any year in the history of this country, where more people filed for bankruptcy last year than in any year since the Great Depression, where kids are now working in sweatshops once again throughout the world, and where unions are once again being crushed to the point where less than 15% of this country belongs to a labor union. And frankly, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate this wonderful return to our traditional values than with that probably most honored tradition that we have amongst us as Americans, a wedding.
I love weddings, especially big ones, like when Chrysler celebrated its merger with Daimler-Benz, the guys who make Mercedes. On that blissful day, they took over the whole New York Stock Exchange and all of Wall Street. The only thing missing was the wedding party and a priest. That's where I came in.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of the almighty dollar to celebrate the union of two companies, Daimler, Benz, and Chrysler. May their union be a profitable one.
It's funny though, I always thought of Chrysler as the strong, independent type. Before the merger, it had the best profit margin of any American car company. But together with Daimler, it'll make even more money. And I guess that's a good reason to celebrate. Even though I'm really not much of a public speaker.
Hello?
I prepared a few words for the traditional best man's toast. Boy, was I nervous.
Excuse me. Can I have everybody's attention? Chrysler, I've known you since I was a little kid. I remember family trips I took with you, and I always thought of you as more of a sister than a friend. So it's a little difficult to give you up. And Daimler, it was a little hard for me to accept that Chrysler was getting married to a foreigner. Well, what's wrong with American, I thought. So, to you, Daimler, Chrysler, may your anti-lock brakes never fail again.
The thing I worry about in a marriage like this is the kids. In 1979, Chrysler workers gave up a lot in salaries and benefits so the company could survive. It would really be a shame if any of them were let go by their new step-parents.
Please repeat after me. I, Chrissy, also known as Chrysler, take you, Daimie B, to be my corporate partner. For better, for worse, for richer or for much richer, and I promise to remain faithful to you unless an unwieldy corporate structure necessitates the strategic acquisition of new properties. May the road rise to meet you.
Let's hear it for the bride and groom.
I'm so thrilled. I wish them all the luck in the world.
Of course, no wedding would be complete without throwing the bouquet. Maybe it would be caught by a young, starry-eyed company dreaming of a merger of its very own.
Manfred,
Yeah,
it's a great day for a wedding, isn't it?
it is a great day, yes.
For the wedding day. Here we go. Throw the bouquet. We have a wedding gift for you. The beautiful glass bowl.
Oh, thank you very much.
No?
That's great.
Really.
Thank you.
Sure, just take it away. Put it with the other 10 cut glass bowls already. Hey, wait, a bomb-sniffing dog? I was kind of offended, but, you know, you can't get mad at the happy couple on their wedding day.
We have a wedding present. It's a toaster oven, a beautiful toaster oven here. Mr. Eaton, we have a wedding present. It's a beautiful day. No? No?
Hey, come on, it's a Toastmaster. They were registered for it.
If you don't take that camera out of my face, I'm going to take it away from you. You understand that? You're bothering me.
We have a wedding present here. It's a beautiful toaster oven.
I thought this was supposed to be a joyous day, but I guess it still is for Daimler Chrysler, because when there's only a couple of car companies left, they'll be able to charge whatever they want.
See, here's our priest. We had the priest for the wedding and our bridesmaids. They can't come to the wedding? No, we're not going to do this here. Oh, we'll go to another wedding. There's many of them taking place these days. All right?
Yes, big old-fashioned weddings are definitely in style again. You know, it's the only wedding I've been to where everybody gets screwed. And if anyone can think of a reason why these guys should not be joined together, well, too late.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are the People's Democratic Republic of Television. We're not just a group of individual malcontents, screw-ups, and rabble-rousers. We're a nation of malcontents, screw-ups, and rabble-rousers, right? So wherever there's a guy down on his luck, we'll be there. Wherever there's a greedy corporation trying to lock out its workers, we'll be there. Wherever there's an independent prosecutor trying to overturn the will of the people, we'll be there. Wherever there's a Mexican worker staring longingly at the GM car he just built but can't afford to buy, we'll be there. And wherever there's a 7-foot chicken ripping a corporation a new one, we'll be there. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here on The Awful Truth. We appreciate it. Have a good night. Have a good summer. We'll be back here on The Awful Truth.